YouTube Nation, Mayfair TV, aka me TV, aka 18 inches of stick. Yeah, that's going to intimidate a lot of Pens fans. But you know, before I get started, I want to say, I understand you're seeing the title and it says disgusting, but don't get it twisted, all right? This playoff game was the greatest playoff game I have ever been to. Ever. I'm telling you that now. The experience for this was amazing. Just the chance of "Let's Go Flyers" was shaking. You could feel the ground shaking under you. People weren't stomping on the feet or stomping their feet or anything. No. All right. Especially in Wells Fargo, it's concrete floor anyway. All right. But the chants alone were shaking the place. It was something I've never experienced ever before in my life, all right? Now, the only thing that came close before that was Team USA when I went to the Team USA game versus Mexico. Only thing close to that, all right? Now, I want to get into this because talking about the Flyers fans, Claude Giroux has come out and given you guys credit and says he's never seen anything like that before. And, as long as he's been a Flyer, he was happy, he was amazed. And just to show you guys exactly how it went down, let's see a little bit of how the beginning started. And then the game starts, all right? And as we all know, the Penguins score first. As Flyers fans, we're used to this. And apparently, Penguins fans, they haven't gotten used to that yet because they're still cheering, all right? Now, look, I have to talk to you guys for a minute because it's not you guys that were actually the problem in the stadium. Penguins fans, males, all right? You weren't the problem, all right? It was the females. It was the ladies, all right? Because they were the most obnoxious women, I'll tell you. On the section, in my section, the section over me, and the section on the other side of me, just the females were causing fights, starting problems, all right? They thought they could come in here with their little attitude, I don't have to listen to anybody, and that's exactly how they were talking, all right? And think they don't have to listen to anybody and think that they were the greatest thing in the world, all right? You want to score, you want to cheer, that's fine, all right? I've said this to opposing fans before when you come into our stadium. You want to cheer on your team, that's fine. That's what you're supposed to do, all right? But when you score and you're still standing up for 5 minutes cheering when they've already had another face-off, they're still playing, you're still cheering, you have to sit down, all right? And people were telling her, sit down. And you know what her response was? You're just mad because the Penguins scored. No, you're blocking people's vision. You've been standing up for 5 minutes. Sit down so people can see, all right? People pay too much money for playoff tickets for you to stand up and cheer, all right, all day. It's not going to happen, all right? But that's not all. I'll tell you, because I got more on you ladies later. That's right, on video. You should be ashamed of yourself. Right now, I'm not very happy with Pittsburgh ladies, as they call them, all right? Anyways, let's go into the game, all right? So, penalties, all right? Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Aaron Asham, we're going to talk about him first, all right? Because I felt that was the worst, if you ask me, all right? Aaron Asham, high sticking to the throat, pretty much, of Shen. You have to understand anything when you cross-check a person, all right? And then, yeah, I know, I said high sticking, because at that point it really is, all right? Cross-checking from the shoulders up is an intent to injure. That's an automatic suspension, all right? That's number one. But then when Shen falls, and he falls face first, onto the ice, Asham gets over top of him and rabbit punches him in his head. That's right, while he's still on the ice. No, that's it. This guy should be gone. And I know a lot of you Pens fans are going to say, well, Aaron Asham, he used to play for the Flyers. Yes, and there's a reason we got rid of him. There's a reason, all right? It's pathetic. And then you have Neil. Neil, oh my God, you got to be kidding me that it's okay for Neil to do, to do what he, does. Was it the Couturier? And a lot of people now saying that Giroux flopped. Get out here. He did not flop, all right? I was at the game. I saw he did not flop. Now, I don't know how many times they could put that on the big screen in 5 different angles to show you, all right? He did not flop. Get it out of your head, all right? I'm just saying that now. But the one on Couturier, absolutely ridiculous. He was not he's not defensive. He was unaware of what was going on. Neil leaves the skates, all right? And now he's trying to say that he didn't intentionally try to hurt anybody. He tried to hold back as much as possible. No, you didn't, all right? But there's a lot of calls that weren't called during the game. Like when Malkin was in front of our goalie, he's on the ground, and Coburn is standing there. Malkin's on the ground pulling Coburn's stick to take it away from him, and Coburn looks at the ref like, yo, you're not going to call this? You know what I mean? And the ref's like, I think I'm going to skate over here. That's what I'm going to do. And it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was. And it's just, I just don't get it. There's a lot of, like I said, there's difference between old-time hockey and just completely one-sided until the Penguins started to show their true colors, all right? Because that's what it came down to. Once the Pens started showing their true colors, the rest had no choice but to call these things, all right? We saw Crosby act like a little girl, running around and starting fights, but then wouldn't get into fights because he knew if he'd have fought Scott Hartnell, he'd have got his ass whooped, all right? And that's when that clown had to come from behind from Hartnell and start punching him from behind, and then that started the fight. I mean, do we have to talk about Crosby and Shen? And then Crosby didn't want none of Shen. He knew he would got destroyed by Shen. He knew this is what Crosby does, all right? This is why people don't like Sidney Crosby. It has nothing to do with skills, all right? Because Sidney Crosby can play, but it comes down to his toughness and him acting like a little punk, all right? That's what it comes down to. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that because I want to talk about how the Penguins, the franchise, and a lot of people, especially the Rangers fans in the Rangers, franchise themselves, comes out and says they're an arrogant bunch. We've seen the interview with their coach, you know what I mean? And said they're an arrogant bunch, and they say that they're not dirty. Well, you could have fooled me yesterday, but let's talk about that a little bit. Remember when the Penguins played the Islanders and Mario Lemieux came out and he said this? Hockey is tough, a physical game, and it always should be. But what happened Friday night it was on Long Island wasn't hockey. It says it was a travesty, Lemieux said. It was painful to watch the game I love turn to a sideshow like that. Then he goes on to say, check this out. If the events relating to Friday night reflects on the state of the league, I need to rethink whether I want to be a part of it. That's what Mario Lemieux said. So if you had a problem with those fights at that time against the Islanders, why don't you have a problem now with what happened yesterday? That's what I want to know, Lemieux. I need you to come out. Since you want to open that can of worms, I need you to come out and say something now. But that's not all. No. See, the NHL had the Penguins winning this whole thing. As you guys know, Barry Melrose predicted, NHL predicted it, Vegas predicted that, the Penguins was going to win this. I feel at this point the fix is in, all right? But I'm happy that everything is disrupting. And I want to talk like this because the NHL comes out and is mad about Game 1. The Briere goal in Game 1, they are upset. That's right. I've never seen the NHL come out and throw a referee under the bus like this, but we're going to keep going. Check this out, all right? They go on to say, there's no way to explain but a missed call, Campbell told the Canadian press in an interview. We are as upset as Pittsburgh, almost. It's a mistake. Now, let's get this straight, all right? You have to understand, guys, that they want them to win. They're mad because of the Briere goal, but you didn't say anything about the Letang goal in Game 1. So why is it okay for you to come out and defend Pittsburgh, but not call it straight down the middle, NHL? See, this is starting to become a problem. It really is, and it's really starting to piss me off. But within all the fighting that happened, I'm telling you, it just got worse with Crosby, and the fans started reacting. And the thing is, people know Crosby is such a little punk that even little girls were holding up signs against him. And then Crosby actually had the nerve to jump on Talbot's back, and you know what? A website caught a picture of it and then used it for accuracy. This rivalry has become so big that even Bill Clement stepped in and said something. Now, as of late, one Penguins fan has particularly gotten a lot of shine, saying that he's a knockoff of Hulk Hogan. Well, as for those who didn't know, we'll put a link in the info bar. Hulk Hogan, the real Hulk Hogan, came out and said something to pretty much trump him. But you have to understand, the reason why this guy is acting the way he is in Pittsburgh is because if you don't know his story, the guy has throat cancer. So he goes to the games and he yells and he acts a fool because his doctor has prescribed him to do so. So I don't have a problem with that. And he's doing something that's, good for his health, apparently, all right? And, if anyone hasn't seen an interview with him when he did on NBC, the guy has a great personality. He really does. But speaking of that, this is what we got at the game. I guess it was a shot towards him. So it goes to show you, Pens fans, we're showing you a lot of love, all right? Showing you a lot of love right now. That's what we're doing, all right? There's a difference between friendly rivalry, I told you, and just nastiness. And they also gave us this bandana with the Flyers logo on it, all right? Now, guys, you have to understand, friendly rivalry and just being nasty, completely two different things. These teams hate each other. For those also who don't know, NHL.com cut the post-game show for Sidney Crosby when he said he hates the Flyers. They cut that out. So they're protecting him again. Look, anyways, all right, Pens fans, a lot of you guys sent me messages. People who went to the University of Pittsburgh were saying, they were embarrassed to see their team play like this. I had a lot of fans tell me, this is not Penguins hockey. We're ashamed. This is just not called for. I mean, just looking at comments online of people saying, there's no way that this Penguins team should be even close to, being even predicted to go to the Stanley Cup. But it just, Pens fans all around are upset at the team's play and lack of heart. Because if you can't beat them, then you might as well goon it up. That's pretty much what they're doing. And a lot of them don't, condone that. However, there are some that do condone it, apparently. Because for those who don't know, and I got it on camera, like I said, you ladies, yeah, you can't run down the steps and punch elderly people in their damn face. Just random elderly people. You can't do that. You can't. And the thing is, it happens so quick that, and because it's unexpected, that I didn't get a chance to get that on camera, but I got her being escorted out and the Flyers fans throwing stuff at her. That's right, after doing it, and then her bragging about it. Yeah, I got that on camera.
Ignorant little bitch. Throw her out. You can't be punching old people. What's wrong with her? Get the fuck out of here.
Absolutely classless. I don't ever want to hear any more about Flyers fans being classless and us being goons and everything. Look, I understand every city has their bad fans. I understand that. But at least we try to police our own here, all right? You can't come into someone else's stadium and start punching random old people who, like I said, the guy was sitting there watching the game like this and just took one to the side of the head. You have to be kidding. No, you cannot do that. And that girl knows better. She's old enough to know better. It is pathetic that something like that would happen. And the thing is, the elderly security, we're trying to get them out as fast as possible because someone's going to get hurt. That was it. Somebody was going to get hurt. You know what? Even Boston Bruins fans have never acted like that here. That is ridiculous. Absolutely disgusting, all right? And that's what pisses me off the most. It's not even just about the hockey game anymore. It's the way the fans are acting. Because like I said, there's a difference between friendly rivalry and people just acting a fool. There's a difference. And you know what? Nobody likes that, all right? It makes the Penguins organization look bad. It makes the players look bad. It makes the fan base look bad. It makes the NHL look bad. That's what it does. You have to be kidding. And not only that, all right, because even though a lot of you guys were very apologetic online, you also had fans who started dropping racist comments towards Wayne Simmons because he scored on you. Absolutely pathetic. If you have to bring up the race card against a certain race watching the game or a player playing the game, that's ridiculous. All right, it goes to show you that you really don't have anything in your arsenal. You're just trying to get a rise out of people, and it's not a laughing matter. Look, I put it like this: for anyone who has ever been hated because of the race, their race or the color of their skin or whatever. And I'm not talking here on the internet where, I can just say something, and try to get a rise out of you. I'm talking about serious in real life, and it was a serious situation, all right? It's not a laughing matter. It's not a joking matter. And you may think it's funny on the internet to do that, but you know and I know, we all know how this goes. If you said that to somebody's face, you know you get your face pushed in, all right? There will be consequences. You know you won't be handling it. That's why you hide behind your computers. That's why you hide behind your little keyboards, you cowards. You know that and I know that. You ain't fooling nobody. You never fool anyone with that, all right? Besides, if you got to go down to the well, to the race car that quick, it's always to tell me that you don't even have anything to say anyway. That's what it comes down to. Penguins fans, you have to watch your other fans. So you have to police your own. I've done a video about this 2 years ago. You have to police your own. You have to. All right? Because they're making you, like I said, there's a difference between being a loyal Penguins fan and being a blind fool. There's a difference, all right? And you have to watch those other fans. You have to. It's just, there's no way it should be coming down to this. No way. Over hockey, look, I put it like this. I will be going to game 4. That's right, Wednesday. I have tickets. I will be going, and I put it like this. I'm looking for them to sweep the Penguins. Even though we will probably not make it in the other rounds, depending who we play, because I put it like this. The Flyers, guys, the Flyers cannot give up 4-5 goals a game and expect to win this all. You can't expect that, all right? Especially when we play against bigger and stronger defensive teams. They're not going to have that. No, they're not going to have that. You have to get better. You have to play tighter. The defense is good, but that damn goalie, and sometimes the defense misses assignments, and I said, you can't do that. You can't afford to do that in the playoffs. You can't give up 4 or 5 goals in the playoffs. All right? It's ridiculous that he even go that far. So I'm telling you now, Flyers fans, I understand that everyone's happy that we're winning, but when you look at the scope of things, we are in trouble, all right? We are. Whether you like to believe that or not. Just saying. Anyways, like I said, I'm looking for this to be finished. I'm looking for the sweep. I just want to get rid of this Penguins deal, get rid of this round so we can focus on the next round. Because these guys, they are mentally broken. We have broken them. They're done, all right? The win, it will come eventually, but they're done. I don't want to hear any more about it as far as I'm concerned. It's pathetic. I will talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. I'm out.